it seems that the president's chief attribute that he was looking for is inscrutability. If there's one thing everyone agrees about Elena Kagan is we don't really know what her positions are.
Elena Kagan is a nominee without a lot of legal experience. She doesn't have judicial experience. That alone is, in and of itself, is not a problem. She doesn't have experience really working as a lawyer either. And when it comes to legal scholarship, which is the one thing you would expect from her, given that she was dean of Harvard Law School, there's very little in terms of volume and almost nothing in terms of substance.
It's important for the committee to ask very tough questions, probing questions, so that the American people can learn more and that senators can learn more, so they can make an educated vote when they go down to the Senate floor. And the oath of office they took to make sure they don't nominate somebody to the court who's maybe too political for the court, maybe somebody who's overtly a political individual that is not suitable for the court. Now, ironically, you have a president who claims that he respects the Second Amendment, but he's nominated two individuals to serve in the Supreme Court that have an open record of hostility to the Second Amendment.
And on the fundamental question of whether individuals have Second Amendment rights, which has since been decided by the Supreme Court 2 years ago, she basically dismissed it, said she was not sympathetic to that argument. She even lumped the NRA in with the Ku Klux Klan in one document. I mean, on Don't Ask, Don't Tell, her position couldn't, there is no American who has expressed more hostility towards Don't Ask, Don't Tell than Elena Kagan.
The interesting thing is that even though the military has nothing to do with this policy, it was passed as a federal law by Congress and signed by the president that she worked for, President Clinton. So the military cannot change this policy. Only Congress can change it at this point. She decided to punish the military for that. I mean, her one major law review article on presidential administration, she argues for enhanced presidential power. Some people confuse this with her being maybe conservative. Maybe she believes in the unitary executive, which was a big Bush thing. Not at all. She believes the president should have more power because that will help him more effectively manage the expansive regulatory state.
They're putting out their standards for recusal that are not appropriate, which means they're hiding something, and that she is involved in a lot of more cases than they want the public to know about, and they know what her views are, and as I said, she's a political plant on the court to protect his legislative agenda.
There are many cases in which she's willing to sacrifice something that is legally correct for a political goal. I think Elena Kagan is another bill that we're going to get passed without reading if the Senate doesn't step up and try to do something about this.
I think that the Senate should consider filibustering a nominee if they don't get answers to the question as a matter of separation of powers.
Knowing as much about her as you know, who would vote for her for a 4-year term as president? It's amazing to think we'd vote for her for 40 years.